felt so welcome and so much a part of the family. A lot of you know Howard had been married some time before, so y'all had met other wives of his. But anyway, I was the last one, and like I said, I was very proud to be part of the Raymond family. In regard to Stork, Howard would never call him Stork. He always insisted on calling him Clarence. So I was kind of torn. Do I call him Clarence or do I call him Stork too? But every time I would talk to Stork on the phone or see him in person, if I said Clarence, he would remind me that Stork. That's what he wanted to be called. So sometimes I call him Stork, sometimes Clarence. He was such a tall guy, and I've always been kind of short. When we would see Stork and Sandy, if I hugged him, I could only reach around his waist. I couldn't give him a regular hug like anybody else, because he was so tall. But I know Stork was, a great father and a great husband just from, seeing the kids occasionally and being around them. So I consider it a privilege to have, to have known Stork. Thank you.
That's the wonderful thing about electronics. They work all the time, except for when you really need them to work. So I have a little difficulty here. But I did want to share a few things with you again. As many of you may know, Stork and Sandy have come up and stayed with us over the years. Back in 1998, when our daughter was born, Stork and Sandy came up and would spend 2 or 3 months with us over the summertime. So I have to admit, it was really kind of one of those situations where we look forward to after a certain amount of time. Although, I would tell people at work, co-workers, friends of mine, the same, my in-laws have come in and moved in with us for 3 or 4 months. So essentially, I've been assigned a few nicknames. St. Amber being one of them, Gandhi being the other one. But it was always one of those situations where we really look forward to it. And Stork and Sandy came into our lives. We have them in our house. We spent a lot of quality time together over those years. Growing up with the kids, we wouldn't trade it in for the world. It was definitely something, Sandy and I both turn around and really appreciate. We always look back at those times with fond memories. Between great euchre games, Stork liked his euchre, and we all would play euchre until all hours of the morning, having a great time. And again, being competitive, we would always, Sandy and I, whenever we partnered up, would be on the losing end, it seemed. I almost think that Sandy and Stork had some kind of code, like hearts, spades, clubs, whatever the case was. But we always had some good times. Is there anybody else that wants to come up and say a few words? Looks like Jack's going to come up and say a few things.
Give it a shot, kid.
Okay.
I got past all the tear-jerking stuff, I'll give it a shot. I'm not going to do the microphone thing, though. I'm Jack Boquin. I married the oldest Raymond girl, became part of this family, Sharon, who of course we lost last year as well. Do a little chronological story. 1974 or 5, 8th grade, wrestling in middle school gym. Somebody said something about the first time I met Stork. 8th grade. Here's the wrestling coach from the high school scouting. Okay, competitiveness, he's scouting out the 8th graders. He wants me to come up, he's watching us all wrestle, he wants me to come up and wrestle for the JV wrestling team. Like, I don't have any way to get anywhere, I live in West Falls. Of course, I didn't say that to him, I was afraid of him just looking at him. But, it wasn't going to happen for me. My parents had 7 kids, both worked jobs. If you wanted to go somewhere, you walked or rode a bike. Well, I wasn't about to do that. So that was 75-ish. I think 1978 probably. Driver's ed. Stork's a driver's ed teacher. So I get him for driver's ed. Of course, not knowing that I'm going to eventually date his daughter. So I'm in the class, of course, being from West Falls, I'm in the back row. And if you know the high school, I don't know what they call those little lecture rooms in the science area, or stadium seating. So if you sat in that back row, you could lean right back against the wall and not pay attention to anything whatsoever. And Stork comes in, he's got a screen down, he's always had some kind of presentation. He had a lot of those days in driver's ed where you turned on a projector and hopefully the kids were watching something, and I don't know where he went. He'd just go away for a little while. But anyway, he was getting set up to do something, and he had this big box he carries in. And he's rooting around, he's looking, and I see a light bulb turn on. Oakwood, in the back row, you're from West Falls, throw me your knife. So I stand up, I take out my pocket knife, and I'm at the top of that thing. I'm like, man, are you kidding? All right, play baseball, I'll give it a shot. Opens it up, puts up the box. You ready? Yep. Puts it back in my pocket. Nowadays, if they lock you up in jail, it's saying the work knives, you know? So that was, I believe, 78 for driver's ed. I got one more story for that. I was afraid to come up here and say stuff because I was afraid I'd know how to talk. Most of you who know me know that's probably incorrect. So anyway, driver's ed. We're in car. Joe Lamont. We're going back to 1979 now, so this is taxing this pea brain. Bill Bannock, myself, and Steve Cronk. Steve Cronk had a tendency to smoke cigarettes that didn't come in a pack. So we're in car, and we're going to go way out in the country. And then we got to find our way back. Of course, he doesn't tell us that. We're just taking a drive. Okay, it's your turn to drive, go. It's your turn to drive, go. You got 4 people driving, making lefts, making rights, way out in the boondocks, which is, of course, where I live. So that kind of helped. And Joey Lamont was from out here. And Bill Bannock didn't start smoking those funny cigarettes till later in his career. So we get all the way out to the end. He says, okay, pull over. Here's what we're going to do. You guys got to drive back the same route backwards back to the high school. He doesn't tell us that you can help each other. So we're in there, and Joey's driving, I'm driving, Bannock's driving, everything's cool, and then Cronk, again, the individual who smoked cigarettes that didn't come in a pack, he gets behind the wheel, and we're trying to tell him which way to go without telling him, because we don't know you can help. And every turn was the wrong way. So then he says, okay, that's it. We weren't even going the right direction. We're supposed to be going back to school. We're heading out into the boonies in another direction. And he says, all right, now turn this way, turn that way, gets us back to school, pull over, you all get an F. And we talk about Storks competitiveness. And if you know me, I got a little bit of that maybe. And I'm like, an F? I don't want no stinking F. This guy might be big, but he's in the front seat and I'm in the back. I'm saying something. So I'm like, that's not fair. We shouldn't get an F. We all knew where we were going. This goofball in the front seat is the one who screwed us all up. And he says, I'll tell you what, I'll make you a deal. It wasn't quite a bet, but it was a deal. You can tell me the route there and back the right way, and the route there and back the way we came, then you, Lamont, and Bannock get a B. Cronk, you get an F no matter what. So I recited the whole thing back and forth both ways, and then Joey Lamont did it too. So he raised our grade. So that was Stork. And that was 78 also. 1979, second semester, I had a health class with Jerry Hillfiker. Many of you teachers know him very well, or knew him. Is Jerry alive? Is he? No. So, great teacher, loved that class. And there was this pretty girl in that class. And she was going out with a guy I knew. And her name was Sharon. And shortly after that class, she wasn't going out with that guy anymore. For some reason, I was dating her. So, at one point in time, I had to stop by the house and pick her up. And get my first opportunity in that realm to meet Stork in his home in Sandy. So, of course, that day, I'd been out on the trap line and caught myself a nice skunk and got sprayed. So that always makes a good first impression. And a buddy of mine, Pete Arlovich, Gave me 2 of those little bottles of whiskey that you get on the plane. Jack Daniels. Sharon used to call me Jack Daniels, and as a matter of fact, for the first several months of health class, she thought that was my name. So he gives me 2 little bottles of Jack Daniels. I got them in my vest pocket, forget all about those. I go in to meet Stork and Sandy. I smell like a skunk, and I got whiskey hanging out of my pocket. I'm like, oh, this is a great one. So then I kind of became part of the family, and as a man would do, especially with his oldest daughter, he has some kind of obligation about throwing some serious stink eyes at a young boy who's going to start dating that girl. And if you can picture, for all of you who knew Stork in 1979, he could throw a mean stink eye if he wanted to. I got to hand it to the man, because being in that position and gaining eventually a son-in-law, he rose to the occasion and made me his friend. And that was really nice. I mean, I was a son-in-law, but we had a great friendship. So that's my Stork stories. Thank you. Get it back to the tear-jerking part now.
Right. All right, thank you, Jack. All right, well, we're back up online. I just did a few things here I just wanted to share with you guys. This is for the younger kids. Some of the less older folks may know. But here's a little history of the NFL. So we all know Stork was a big Giants fan. And when, of course, I met him, I did comment that I was an Eagles fan. So we all remember this play in particular. But for those who don't know, this is Herman Edwards, number 46 of the Philadelphia Eagles. The gentleman on the ground is the Giants quarterback at the time, Joe Pizarnik. Now the Giants had this game in hand. They had it won. All they had to do is kneel on the ball. Unfortunately, the quarterback went to hand out the ball, fumbled it, and the Philadelphia Eagles player picks up the ball, runs into the end zone, wins the game, scores the touchdown, and the Eagles win 19-13. Now it's 1978 at the time, so the Giants have already won a championship, but that was going quite a few years back. So of course, when Stork and I get talking about Eagles and Giants, what's the first thing I bring up as an Eagles fan? Hey, Stork, remember the miracle in the Meadowlands? Let me turn around and remind me of something else. His New York Giants, 4 Super Bowl rings. 2 of them in the time that I've known the guy. And we already know how one of them ended up. How many people, is there anybody in the audience today that was at Stork's party for that Super Bowl? For the Giants-Bills Super Bowl? Because I'll tell you this, I don't know if I would want to be there or not. I remember watching that game on television overseas. It was the day after the game, and of course we lose by 1 point on a wide-right field goal. But when I turn around and I think of the New York Giants, I think of them for 2 reasons. First and foremost, Stork. His hat's out there, big Giants fan, big Giants license plate, tried and true blue all the way to the end. And of course, the stupid Super Bowl in which we lost by 1 point. Is there anybody else that wants to come up and say a few words? I think we have a card or 2 here. Okay. Well, we've gone around with the cards. We've done a few little PowerPoint presentations here, poking a little fun at Stork. Martha's going to come up and do us a song here at the end, and we have a little surprise treat at the end of the ceremony here. So just give us a second to get her set up.
What's the surprise treat?
You'll have to find out.
Help me with this. You broke my music stand.
I have stories about Stork. Anybody besides besides Jack and I have stored for driver's ed? There's somebody. I can't see that far, but yay. Oh man, I got an F in car a lot. I'll never forget the time we were going down Main Street towards the other way. And he was telling me to do something or other and turn somewhere, and I didn't understand what he said, and I'm driving along, and he slams on the brake. You know how they had the brake on the driver's ed instructor had a brake, and oh, it was terrible, and the kids in the back of the car are screaming and crying. I got quite a reputation. People in school would say, you're in car with Martha Boquin? Oh my God. I remember another time, you know, I loved him so much, and he's such a great guy, and to go through school with Mr. Raymond around. And I remember one time he was really sick with a bad cold. It was like maybe 1974, 1975, and he was out of school for a period of time. So I went to the vending machine, and you know that they have those little capsules with a toy in it. So I got one of those, and I spilled out the toy, and I put in the little sprinkly, colorful things you put on a cake. And I made him a card, and I said, "This is a big contact for that super cold." And he thought that was so nice, and we were just pals ever since. Okay, tearjerker, and then no more tearjerkers. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary come to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Parted.